First day of pre-season training here at the training centre. What's the schedule looking like for the players?
It's quite a relaxed schedule, although we had some players in at 8 o'clock and it was a staggered day. But in terms of traditional pre-season, everybody coming in worried about the physicality of the work that they're going to be doing. We had guys in this morning for hydration assessment. They then had a body composition assessment, and then from there the first group went down to Queen Margaret University. 3 different labs down there where they do 3D motion analysis, a neuromuscular function assessment, and they also got a 3D imaging of the muscles. So from there, that group will disperse, and then the next group will just come in and repeat that protocol, and that will be the same with another group tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow afternoon the testing will be a bit more strenuous. There'll be a maximal test involved there. So over the course of the 2 days, that will enable us to get a profile of the player, a bit more in-depth profile than what we've had previously, and from there use that data to how we taper the pre-season from there.
That sounds very modern and state-of-the-art. I mean, the days now gone of running up the sand dunes at Gullen until you're sick kind of routine.
No, listen, I think as things evolve, I think there's a time and a place for everything, but it would be silly not to use information that we can get, be using scientific data and using that in accordance. There's a lot of data that can be generated out there, but I think it's how you use it, and you've got to make sure you use it in the correct manner. But yeah, I think traditional, pre-seasons or off-seasons where you had 9 weeks off, guys rocking up, a stone overweight, and then from there, as you say, take them up after seat to their sick is probably not a good way to be quantifying training. So every session that we do will be monitored under heart rate monitoring, so it enables us to tweak the plan where we need to. There's a plan in place, but it's only in pencil because it depends on how the players adapt to each session and how well they recover from that, and then it enables us to determine what loading we need to place on them and what we think they can cope with at that time.
And how beneficial is it? I mean, obviously you've been involved with the club now for a year, but comparing this to last season's pre-season, which was pretty much thrown together at the last minute kind of thing, given the circumstances that were there, how beneficial is it to have the time to prepare properly and make sure everything's in place in the right time frame? Well,
hopefully it'll be a huge benefit. I mean, day 1 of pre-season last year was led by myself. The manager wasn't in place, and for the first 3 days it was myself and Paul Green who were basically leading that. There was a lot of uncertainty surrounding contractually with the players, personnel coming in, what manager was coming in. So I think as a dressing room there was a hell of a lot of uncertainty within that. So of course it's a huge advantage to have planning in place that we know our schedule for the first week. We're going to be based here at a fantastic facility, and then we're going back to La Manga to another fantastic facility. So it has enabled us to plan and hopefully taking the games programme forward as well, that enabled us to prepare properly.
From your perspective, is all the fitness work that gets done now, is this going to be in the bank for the entirety of the season? Is this a case of just making sure that they're as fit as possible and then topping up where required over the course of the season?
Not necessarily. I think it would be a mistake to think that you could, get all your dividends, from 2 weeks conditioning. I think it's a hugely important part, but it needs to be structured in the right manner. And I'm not a believer that you get all your gains from this period. You get a great, solid starting base from this, and as and when throughout the season, you're having to peak every Saturday. So in terms of the training within that, it is almost a maintenance dose. However, there is times where we need to lessen the load or we need to up the load. But I think it would be madness to think that you would get all your gains from that. It's the work you do here that enables you to continue that work throughout the season and adjust that appropriately as you see fit.